up, robots? So today we've got another viewer weapon request. Someone wanted me to do an igniter build. Igniter is one of the weakest DPS weapons in the game, so strap in for a long haul. The only thing it's really got going for it is it does a lot of burn damage because it's innate burn, so it has a 70% tick rate rather than a 30% tick rate, and I mean it's got homing, which is a thing, so I don't really need to worry about aiming too much. But other than that, it's there's not really a particular like affix or build that will save this from being just a very low DPS weapon. Kind of weapon that if you do pick it up, you'll probably pick it up through canyons and then never pick it up again. We're going to get a little bit silly here and pick up a chili. It's going to hurt us early, but we can actually get some fairly good auto crit chance. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this, but as I saw chili as my first drop, I thought it'd be funny. We'll grab explosive, not explosive, we'll grab carrot so that we have burn or explosive pogo sticking for some more hilarity. I kind of want chromatic buddies, but scrap pancakes are just always too good, so we'll grab those, they'll be more consistently useful. We're probably going to run burn mastery as well, so that we've got more wave clear, and it will increase our DPS a little bit, it's up to 10%. And it also gives us elemental crit chance and stuffs, so that's always nice. We will run chroma weapon. The problem is that we won't be able to run it, there's not really any point running it, should I say, burn. So the sparks that we get out of it aren't going to synergize too well with our build, but hopefully we'll be able to get something useful. Okay. We'll get drum. If we go shock sparks, our sparks will be a little bit AoE, so that's an option. Realistically, I would prefer to go cryo, if we can luck out getting a cake item or something like that, because then our cryo will also end up dealing burn. That will still be on point. Those down there and just go towards our next item pickup and get something good. We want more scrap. More scrap makes it easier to keep our pancakes up and running. And in situations like that where you've got a buffing head crab, it's a little bit awkward to use seeker weapons, because a lot of the time it will lock on to the head crab instead of the target that you're aiming for, which is why a lot of the time I don't really rate seeker too high, because it's not always your fault if you're not hitting the target that you're aiming for, and it's very frustrating to try and play around something that's just auto-targeting the wrong things. Like, you can get better at aiming. It's kind of difficult to get better at not aiming correctly so that your weapon will hit the target that you want it to hit. Now, if you're bad at aiming, I would recommend explosive weapons over seeker weapons. You still then have more control over where you're hitting. And it's just easy to hit because of explosive weapons being AoE. And then you also have better wave clear. And in most situations, better single target DPS, because the weapons which get Seeker don't tend to be particularly high DPS. Like there, I would much rather be shooting the can rather than the enemy, because that would have been a big spike to both enemies that were close to it, but Seeker wouldn't let me. Okay, I've got, I didn't actually expect to get a blue igniter, so that's something. This one's got bullet hail, so actually, thinking about it, we might want turbo. I know I've rolled past it twice now. Buckshot always looks hilarious, but the damage isn't that good. It's 40 damage versus 23, so it's almost twice as much. Yeah, I think I'll just go. We'll go turbo. I think turbo is the right call. Because bullet hail is basically a better version of buckshot. It actually does good damage per projectile that hits, and it's guaranteed every time I click it. Right, so we'll take Pyromaster. Now, unfortunately, bullet hail still doesn't do a huge amount of damage because the weapon itself doesn't have a very high base, so the alt fire is not going to have very high base either. But having an alt fire is better than not having an alt fire, even if it means that we've only got one blue versus like 3 greens. Oh, 2 greens. Okay, Pyromaster doing work. 10% chance doesn't seem like a lot, but when you've got a whole room that's triggering it, it's actually very strong. And I hope to hit more than one target there, but no such luck. You can see the fires like bouncing back and forth between them sometimes and stacking up. So it is, the damage doesn't look very high on Pyromaster, but it's actually a really good damage bonus if you get lucky. If not, then yeah, unfortunately it's lackluster. But it is technically one of the few sources in the game that could potentially do close to infinite damage. You have constant enemies rocking it between each other, and you don't even need to be attacking them anymore once you have like a whole room lit up. You can just leave them burning and then come back to whatever's left. There used to be a strat that I used in speedrunning a lot when Pyromaster was stronger than it is now. It was a lot of fun, but unfortunately it keeps getting nerfed because it is too strong. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if it got nerfed again. It'd be a shame if it got nerfed again, because it is one of my favourite perks in the game, but it wouldn't be unsurprising. Don't really care about Vaporize. See if we can get auto crits. There we go. So we do have chili, so we are not doing a huge amount of damage unless we're critting at the moment. But if we do crit with the hail shot, it's pretty decent damage. A balloon, that's pretty much all we want from this build at this point. Hot dogs wouldn't go amiss, but we've got Pyro Master, so we don't have to have more AoE. Any more AoE is just beneficial at this point. Start on that. Okay. And you notice when I'm speedrunning, I always go this route. This route gives you the most like item drop potential. So for trying to run specific builds, you tend to be able to get the strongest builds out of this. Now if you go Oasis, obviously you can get a guaranteed fantastic, which wouldn't be too bad. I could have also gone Buddy Bot, which would have given me more elemental damage, knowing that I'm running the Igniter. But again, just the sheer amount of item RNG you can get from here, I tend to find that I prefer this route because you can get kind of sillier runs out of it. And there's a lot of fantastic items which wouldn't really benefit this build. But not getting the Buddy Bot bonus elemental damage is a bit of a negative, but it's not a huge negative. Like, yeah, it's a minor inconvenience at most. I'll pick up a flare gun. Not necessarily going to use it for marking. It's more going to be used for getting through Haven quicker. And District 13, so you have to backtrack. Really like the fact that you die now, thank you. Okay. My hook locked onto a target that I didn't aim at, and then take damage. I wanted to stun the sniper turret, and it locked onto a head crab instead. Again, I would try and stun the target that I want to with the grappling hook, but it's got a smart targeting system. Which often means it just lands on the target you don't want to actually aim for. But there you go. Not mean to take that burst of damage at the end there. I thought it was going to be stunned for longer. Hey, there we go. We got Puppy. Puppy? Poppy. Lucked out there. And now we're on 35% auto crit. So soon we'll stop regretting taking chili. And we'll take some fire rate. Take Winter's Hat. As I said before, we are probably going to grab Chroma Cryo. So it's not too bad an idea to pick up these cryo items. Unsure if we're going to get it in time before it's kind of redundant, but the extra wave clear from the items can be pretty big. you get hat and cake and hot dog, you get some pretty nifty AoE clearance that you can get out of that. Because cake will apply burning once you apply cryo. Hot dog will apply AoE explosion. And Winter's hat will apply elemental cryo explosion once, well, has a chance to apply a cryo explosion. So yeah, it can be a nice little boon to your build. I don't really want any of those, so I'll take Pyro Tempest, I guess. And the hail shot is coming through with the little bits of burst damage when we need it, which is quite good. Makes up for a lot of the DPS loss that we have in this build. If we could get tape, that'd be even better. And then we can turn this build into an alt fire build, which are my preferred builds, to be honest. I love alt fires. They do not get enough love. Okay, got a purple igniter now. Pretty lucky run, but we will not have bullet hail anymore. I'm going to take the purple one because we're doing igniter run, not an alt fire run. If you wanted to actually have a strong weapon here, you would want to just stick with the blue one, I'm not going to lie. Because bullet hail is just so much damage spike. But yeah, we'll take the purple one because it seems silly to turn down a purple igniter when we're doing a viewer request for an igniter build. You don't always need to do the strongest, just need to do the most interesting. And you can do alt fire builds with any weapon. So, it wouldn't be particularly interesting to do an alt fire build. But crit igniter build is very huge. You can see we're starting to chunk through rooms quite efficiently now. Want to make sure with Pyromaster you don't really ever want to target down just one target. It's quite peculiar in that sense. Normally you would like focus one enemy, focus the next, blah blah blah. But because of Pyromaster, you always want to try and spread the fire around as much as you can, because that increases the chance that it's then going to trigger the Pyromastery, and then it's just going to keep spreading burn for you. So it tends to be a more consistent way to quickly kill rooms, is if you target everything you can rather than just targeting one thing down. This burn damage is starting to get out of control. Yeah, free will ricochet is a very good combo. Not used our burn pyro pogo yet, which is a bit of a shame, but it's kind of cool. I'm actually going to take Poster Specialist. 25% increased damage is obviously more than 15%, but 15% is going to be more consistent because it doesn't matter what range I'm doing it at. Take credit card to make sure we're able to just shoot more often. It's not often we're having to reload anyway, but will be kind. And this weapon is, when you run it in a build like this, is kind of the prime example of why when a good player says a weapon isn't any good, doesn't mean you can't put in a lot of work with a weapon, especially if you get lucky and get a purple one with enough affixes just to carry it. It just means that it won't perform as well as the guns that we say are good. You could literally complete the game with a grey fox pistol if you wanted, but it doesn't mean the fox pistol is good. Jubbly. Don't care about that, don't care about that. That doesn't do anything for us, so I guess we're going to take crit damage on an igniter, which is just hilarious to think about. Get mark down as well, increased damage. Did end up taking that punch, unfortunately, but not the end of the world. Okay, that I'm surprised that that punch hit me, I'm not gonna lie. Got us higher up than it could be. Flower Pot would actually counter the attack speed that I'm hoping to get off the final boss, so I'm not going to do that, so we'll just grab Poster Stamp. I should have looked at the items on sale before doing that, because what I should have done is taken the sale so we could get Hot Dog. Okay, that's a shame. We also took Candle there, which will increase the damage by 10% on the weapon. Now, anyone who's any good at maths will know that leveling up my weapon twice would have been more damage bonus than Candle would give. But my weapon's only 2 levels behind, so I'm not too worried about it. And there's going to be more opportunities to get damage bonus. There's going to be less opportunities to pick up a Candle again. As in, there's going to be no opportunities to pick up Candle again after it's been and gone. Damage around. So we'll be hitting every room, every bonus room in here for more items and more upgrades. Because at the very least we do want to try and get these igniter guns leveled up. I've got a source of marking with my flare gun, so I don't really need to worry about geared buddies. Chromatic Blaster will give us more burn crit chance and burn on that, or gun diet. I'm actually going to run gun diet. That would be not bad damage bonus overall, and then the 50% reload will actually be fairly good for igniter because it doesn't burn through its ammo that quickly. I mean, it's not huge. CD looks like it's a humongous buff, but we're weapon swapping for rocket jumps and for marking. And we will have to be reloading because this gun doesn't have infinite ammo. So if I could have afforded the bowl of cereal back there, then that might have been good for marking, because then we wouldn't have to swap. Please come forward. Don't wanna, okay, we'll go round and deal with the sniper turret then. Don't want to come forward. And the thing is, the gun diet half proc thing, that will get rid of CD as well. We don't have a good way of doing infinite fire that works with CD on NG. So as cool of a pickup as that is, it won't actually help us against the final boss or anything really. Increase weapon damage when we're close, I guess. I'm fairly sure that doesn't trigger against Iris though, because you can't ever get close enough for it to trigger, but we'll do the test. If the armor one comes back up, I have been meaning to double check this fact. So if the armor one comes back up, we'll check to see if we can ever proc the armor bonus. If we can't proc the armor bonus off of Iris, then we can't get the damage bonus. Just gonna, I'm fairly sure the bowl is 6 cells, so we should be able to afford it. Oh no, it's an 8 cell one, it is blue. Wonka Bar, come to the rescue. There was a chance. Well, I'll just miss that, that's cool. Toaster would be useless. We don't need to worry about cryo weapons anymore because that dream is dead. Just leveling weapon. It is kind of funny how fast we're shooting with CD now. And because we don't need to shoot a whole clip to kill a rune, we are actually managing to keep it up relatively okay. It's just a shame that it's not going to be that big for boss killing. We'll grab 15% bonus damage. Could have grabbed the reload, but again, we already know that that doesn't work with CD, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Bonus 15% damage is fairly good. And as you can see, the 16%, the damage bonus when within 6.5 meters is very strong. Like 25% bonus damage is a lot, but my playstyle just isn't one that goes that close to enemies often. I'm kind of a mid-range player. I'll fly through the middle, fly over the top. I'm not often pushing that boundary, but I just don't feel the need to. I respect that it is a strong option, it's just not an option that works in my playstyle. The audio is probably going to be less commentary for the last bit of levels. My family just got home, so there'll be kids shouting and screaming in the background. So out of respect for you guys, it'll be muted a lot of the time. That's unfortunate, my last shot took me out of CD threshold there. I don't have CD for this fight. Eight life and a dream. Wasn't even close. GG's. Right, that's my viewer run. Wasn't anything particularly overpowered. Was kind of very weak as we expected it to be. Unfortunately, didn't manage to keep CD up through Iris. Made Iris fight kind of more complex than it had to be because of trying to keep it up. But anyway, there we go. Igniter run as requested. Peace, love and buddy bots. Bye.